Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Popo here, bringing guys a new video, and today we're going to be talking about Legends ZA. Let's go. Welcome, everybody, and today we're going to be talking about Legends ZA. This is the new Legends game coming out in probably January, if it's any indication from the last Legends game, which did come out at the end of January, and then we got Gen 9 in November of that same year. So I'm guessing that's going to be the same release schedule as this one. That's what I had predicted, that there's going to be 3 World Championships with the new games, which is the first time that's ever happened. I think that's really interesting, and I think that this is just my take, and I'm going to talk about this more in another video at some point, but that this World Championship coming up is going to be single restricted Pokemon, and then the World Championship after this one will be a full restricted, meta game. We'll see if that happens. It's even possible that it's just Miraidon and Koraidon allowed at this World Championship coming up, and then all of them will be allowed at the next one, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see, but I think this kind of vindicates what I have been saying, is that they're gonna do something different. I thought it might be Let's Go. I even said in my video I didn't want to see a Legends game, but it's interesting to see how this game goes. We're gonna go look at the video a little bit. I'm gonna talk about some of the stuff I read online and just give my opinions on it, though. Who knows at this point? I mean, this could go any which way. So if you haven't seen this video, make sure you go on to their YouTube and check out the whole thing. It's an interesting video. So right here, I was already feeling some vibes, you know what I mean? Like that symbol on the top that you guys can't actually see because my camera's in the way. Looked different, but as soon as they showed this, like, I was like, that's French architecture, right? And I was like, there's only one place that's set in France, and that's got to be Kalos. And I was like, this is Gen 6. This is Gen 6. I literally said it right away. It just gave those vibes. Like, everything about it was just Gen 6 right out the get-go. And then you start seeing some of the Pokemon that it starts to show. So from my understanding and what they've written, yeah, so you see like the Pyroar and stuff. I have a fond spot for Gen 6 because Gen 6 is when I first started playing competitive Pokemon. I started playing singles at the later life cycle of X and Y, and then I got into VGC around Omega Ruby and Sapphire in like 2015, 2016. So yeah, so I was in on these games. Gen 6 and XY specifically were like one of my favorite games. I really enjoyed playing those games. But yeah, this just gave those vibes. And I was a little hype. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little hype. But yeah, as you can see, you start seeing some of these Pokemon. You got Klefki up here. You got the Flower Boys, so and you got Furfrou. Furfrou, I believe can only be caught in Gen 6 or Pokemon Go. I don't think you can get it any other way, which is I think the only Pokemon that is still restricted like that. Yeah, you can just see more of them. You see some Gen 1 Pokemon as well. There's nothing really new showing. Showing this kind of gives the impression that there will be no new Aegislash form or Sylveon form or anything, because they're showing them outright. And I think that if they were to have a new form, that it wouldn't show them like that at all. And then of course you see the tower, which just seals the deal that this is Luminos City. And you see the Fletchling flying. And yeah, so you get the whole city here. And what's interesting about this is that they said it on their Twitter, that the whole game is in this town or in this city. So what does that mean? How are we going to get Pokemon? Are we going to catch Pokemon, or is this a city builder? Because if this is a city builder, I'm into city builders, though I'd rather be catching Pokemon. And I'm kind of worried that it being in this is going to really limit what they can do with how many Pokemon are in the game, what Pokemon you can catch, how that's going to feel, what it's going to be like. But at the same time, I think it could give vibes that are similar to like some of the older games that were on like N64, like Pokemon Pokemon Stadium and Coliseum and stuff. Maybe you can get some vibes like that where you can get Pokemon, you're using Pokemon to do various things, and you're doing some battles, you're trying to save things. I think that that's what this game is going to be. I think you're going to be rebuilding Lumino City or even building it in the first place. Um, and I think that could be interesting because there was a war. If you guys remember the Kalos, there was a war. So this is probably post-war. Um, and since it's France, it's probably post World War II, like like to give it a real world equivalent. So it'll be interesting to see if that is what it really is based on, and if that's how it's going to go. And there's the big reveal right there. Of course, everybody already knew as soon as seeing the rest of everything else. It was pretty obvious at that point, and then we get the little logo here with the ZA. Um, what's interesting about the ZA is what's the A? You know, if you guys remember the main person from Gen 6, like that was at the end of the game, the big boss boy. His name was AZ. So this is ZA. Who knows? So it looks like this is going to be more recently in the past than we had with the last Legends game. So it'll be more interesting to see if the battles are different, because that was my biggest gripe with the last Legends game and why I didn't want another Legends game, is because the battle system for me did not click. I didn't like how you can run into a level 10 when you're level 70, and the level 10 could like do 50% of your life for no reason. It just seemed really off and just didn't really make sense to me. I didn't like any of that. So hopefully they can fix up some of that, make that a little bit better, make it more modern, and then still add those elements from Legends Arceus, because I really did enjoy the catching and stuff of that game, and crafting and things like that. It was really fun, and exploring. Those were all really good aspects of that game, but what wasn't a good aspect of that game was the battle system, as well as searching for some of the materials, having to use the Urshifu, or sorry, not Urshifu, Ursa Ring, or the Ursa Luna, sorry, to find those materials was really annoying and just frustrating some of the times. So hopefully they can fix a lot of that, and they've taken that feedback and put it into the game. Also, as we continue here, we're going to see something that's also exciting, and then I'll talk about a couple more things. This is going to be a pretty short video, but we see here the Mega symbol. So Megas are back, of course. This is where Mega started. As a VGC player, not a big fan of Megas. I think that's a general consensus. There are some people who do like it, of course, but for me personally, I do not like Megas. I think that they were super unbalanced, but that doesn't mean that they can't become balanced. That doesn't mean that Game Freak can't go, okay, well, let's give some Pokemon that deserve Megas. Let's balance them properly, and then we can put them back in the game and then see where it goes from there. So with Megas being back, I think they're going to give Megas to a lot of Pokemon. And lore-wise, I think it could be like these Mega Stones were lost, right? Salamancite stayed around, but maybe, one for, who knows, whatever Pokemon you want to say is not around anymore. Furfrou, right? The Furfroite is got lost to time and space. So that's why it's not in the modern game, because this is probably going to be 200 years-ish before the game, the like Kalos game. I don't know exactly, but and the other game was 1,000 years before the modern time. So I think it's going to be a lot different than Arceus was, and I think it's going to be a lot more of an interesting game. But will it be a better game? I'm not too sure. But Megas being brought back is definitely going to make it interesting. The birthplace of Megas, we might see the synthesis of those Mega Stones or something like that. That could be cool. Yeah, I think they can do a lot with that. I'm also interested in seeing what Pokemon get regional forms, right? We have no Collodion forms, not even a single one. So it'll be cool to see if there are some Kalos forms that are going to come from this that are relevant in future games. just like maybe something like Hisuian Lilligant or Hisuian Arcanine, more specifically, who is really, really good, who came from the last Legends game. So, and then, what's happening with the legendaries? Are we get Xerneas? Are we going to get Yveltal? It has Z in it, so obviously Zygarde is going to be part of the story, but how will that go? Who knows? It's just going to be a really interesting, and I'm really excited to kind of see where the game is going. Am I excited for Megas? No, but overall, I am excited for this game. I will be playing it, so yeah. And I just want to comment on this. It releases simultaneously worldwide in 2025. That does not mean Switch 2. Guys, the Switch 2 hasn't been announced. This is not announcing the Switch 2. If you think this is going to be on the Switch 2, it could be with backwards compatibility kind of thing, but it's not coming natively to the Switch 2. That doesn't mean Gen 10 won't. That doesn't mean that the Switch 2 is not going to come out next year. Who knows? Who knows on any of that? But this is not coming out on the Switch 2, so don't think it is. Because they put this on a lot of their games because they have 3 versions of the Switch, and they just want people to know that it works on multiple versions of Switch. We're in the gaming world, so we have an understanding that each Switch plays the same games, but somebody who doesn't, somebody who, just plays games casually might think their Switch Lite can't play this game. That is not true. So that's why they have to put that, so that way people understand that these things are real and that they can do this. So 2025, I think, is coming out in January. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you guys thumbs it up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.